Those are the 3 things you can do today to promote in half the time. My second month as an SDR, I tied as the lowest performing rep across the entire org. I don't know if I've shared this story with you guys, but at the time, it was incredibly frustrating to want to be good, but not have the skills I needed to back it up. Seeking out advice from top performers is what eventually turned everything around for me. For that reason, I have built a sales podcast to provide everyone access to actionable insights from top producing reps. My mission is to help as many sales reps as possible find more success sooner rather than later and expedite their journey from SDR to account executive. And I also want to get better in the process, speaking with great reps, great thinkers, as I work to move from senior account executive to enterprise account executive in my software sales shop. Sales Prestige Podcast is officially live on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and it has its own YouTube channel as well. I'll put a link to the video podcast in the description below. It would mean the world to me if you guys subscribe to the channel, watch episode 1, leave me some feedback. Your support will help bring on bigger and better guests so that we can continue to provide more and more actionable, valuable insight. Let me know below as well, who are your dream guests? And I'll put my prospecting skills to the test. I'll relentlessly cold call them, LinkedIn message them, and get the guests you want on the podcast, no matter how big the name. The title of today's video, how to expedite your journey from SDR to account executive in half the time. I'm going to talk about my experience because it took me a full 2 years to promote from a sales development rep to an account executive. It felt like an eternity as an SDR because I knew I was ready, but I just wasn't able to hit the closed revenue number I needed to promote. So it took a lot longer than expected. It was also through 2020, the pandemic, so it was difficult for everyone. But if I were to go back, what would I do differently in order to promote in half the time? And that's what I'm going to talk to you about right now. Hit the like button now if you'd like to support the channel. Tip number 1 is seeking out advice from top performers. That's what initially started the story. And this truly transformed my entire trajectory of my sales career. As I said, my second month in as an SDR, I was tied as the lowest performer. Naturally, I was used to doing well at things in my life. So I remember calling my mom after that first month. Yeah, I did that and I said, this is hard. Is sales for me? I just moved from Ohio to Texas and I got a taste of the real world, initial adversity. And I said, am I going to get fired? I'm not used to underperforming. This is so hard. What do I do? So she's like, you should stick with it. Just keep trying to get better. And I said, yes, I'm going to stick with it. So I just had an instinct. Let me go speak with someone who knows what they're doing. So I went and spoke. I put time on the calendar of the leader of our office, our entire office. I messaged him. I said, look, can I talk to you? And he's like, of course, come over to my desk. So I started saying, look, I'm struggling. I don't know what to do. And he said, Trent, and I'll never forget this advice. He said, Trent, do you think you're working hard? And I said, yeah, I think I'm working hard. He's like, are you all in? And I said, yeah, kind of. He's like, that's what's holding you back right there. You thinking you were trying hard, you were probably giving 70% of your effort. But if you truly burn the boats and go all in, you will have a relentless mindset of, I will figure this out or I'll die trying. And that's really the mindset. It's as simple as that. So I sought out that advice from a top performer, and that is what clicked in my brain. That is the advice I needed. Each stage of my career, as I looked to level up from an SDR to a senior SDR, from an SDR to an account executive, before I moved up to an account executive, I went and met with the top producing account executive, and I said, what are you doing? How do you structure your day? How do you think about discovery? What do your deal cycles look like? And those insights are invaluable. And so many of you message me on LinkedIn and you say, Trent, what should I be doing? How do I get better? Along with watching my videos and my content in the new podcast, identify who is a rep you respect and reach out to them. Who is the top producing rep? Reach out to them and say, how do you message this on the cold call? What do you say? Sales is all about imitation. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. It's all about figuring out what works, copying it in your style, and then executing on a day-to-day basis. As I think about tip number 2 to help you promote sooner rather than later, it is collaborating with your account executives. And this is following the assumption that you are currently an SDR right now, which I know a lot of you are new in your sales career like I still am. I'm only 3.8 years in. And as a sales development rep, you are aligned with account executives. You are tasked with setting up meetings, booking demos, pipeline, all of that. You set up an initial meeting, you bring in someone like me to qualify your opportunity so that you can get paid. The biggest thing for me that changed everything was when I actually started to collaborate with my account executives. One, sync with them weekly, no matter what, even if you don't like them. Meet with them weekly and figure out how are they doing? What can you be doing to help them be more successful? What accounts should you be focusing on? And really push on them to provide you with what you need to be successful. Meaning, hey, what accounts do you want me to focus on? What is our strategy here? Because if you don't tell me what you want, I can't really deliver it for you. So it's setting that expectation that you are serious, you are gonna do it, and focus on adding value to the account executive. If you do so, the account executive will naturally reciprocate. When your meeting's I don't know if I should accept it or not, they will accept it, they'll put in the biggest pipeline amount, and eventually they may start giving you freebies and they say, hey, you can put in this opportunity in the system for me. Once you start getting those bones thrown to you, which you don't want to expect that, you want to give value and then eventually it will come to you, and you're doing the right thing, that is going to set you so much farther ahead of your peers, and you won't believe how much more success you're going to find. Tip number 3, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy this, and this is the biggest thing I deal with today in my job as a senior account executive, and it is continue with the foot on the gas when times are good. As an SDR, I was on a monthly quota. I had needed to generate pipeline on a monthly basis. So what I would do is I would work really hard. I'd set up 10 meetings in a week. Maybe I'd hit my quota in a week or two and I said, I'm the man, I'm awesome, I'm gonna get 200%, I'm in the accelerators, I'm getting paid. And then some months, especially if a lot of you right now probably have hit your quota and you're set to promote the start of Q2, so April 1st. So the rest of March, you're like, I'm in cruise control, I'm just hanging out. I remember being in those periods of my SDR career and I felt like I had no purpose to life. After I hit my quota and I knew I was gonna promote, I just didn't care. And what I now find as an account executive is you never have those moments. Even if you hit quota, you still need pipeline for the subsequent quarter. So there's really no time to rest or relax. And whenever a business, enterprise, or individual stops getting better or they feel like they've achieved success, that complacency is going to lead to your death. Meaning you're not going to hit your quota, you're going to be unhappy, you're going to be less successful, less money. So when times are good, when you have a lot of deal flow, when you have pipeline flowing, are you still doing your prospecting? When you've hit your quota, are you still doing your prospecting? When you are the number one person in the office, are you still showing up to the office first and leaving last? When the times are good, that is when you should be doubling down. That philosophy has carried me to where I'm at today. Those are the 3 things you can do today to promote in half the time. Advice from top reps, simple. Number 2, collaborating with AEs. And number 3, avoiding complacency at all cost. If you enjoyed today's video, subscribe to the channel for more sales videos. Let me know, seriously, in the comments below. You, yes you, if you're still watching, who is the biggest sales name that you would like to hear on my podcast? Is it Mark Cuban? Is it Elon Musk maybe? I don't know how I'd get a hold of him, but let me know. Also, I'd imagine you're on LinkedIn. If you're not connected with me now, connect with me now. I'm posting a lot on there as well, sales content. I'm sure you follow some of the sales leaders, like the Josh Brauns, the Sarah Braziers, the 30-Minute to President's Club guy. We're coming for those guys. We're going to be the #1 sales podcast at some point soon. Give me some time to figure that out. I need your support to get there. But let me know who you want to hear on the pod. We'll get them on. Thanks so much for the support. I'll see you on the next podcast episode. I'll see you in the next episode on this channel. We're not going anywhere. Think of this as behind the scenes, guys. So I want to bring you with me each step of the way. I can't do it without you. Have a great rest of the day. Let's make it happen today. Bye.